It's true that some things change as we get older. But if you're a woman over 40 and you're dealing with insomnia, brain fog, moodiness, and weight gain, you don't have to accept it as just another part of aging. And with MIDI Health, you can get help and stop pushing through it alone. The experts at MIDI understand that all these symptoms can be connected to the hormonal changes that happen around menopause, and MIDI can help you feel more like yourself again. Many healthcare providers aren't trained to treat or even recognize menopause symptoms. MIDI clinicians are menopause experts. They're dedicated to providing safe, effective, FDA-approved solutions for dozens of hormonal symptoms, not just hot flashes. Most importantly, they're covered by insurance. 91% of MIDI patients get relief from symptoms within just 2 months. You deserve to feel great. Book your virtual visit today at joinmidi.com. That's joinmidi.com.
Hello, and welcome to It's a Fandom Thing. I'm your host, Erin Marlowe, and each week I'm joined by a panel of guests to discuss all things fandom and pop culture, primarily from a female perspective. You'll find everything from fanfic to cosplay to Schitt's Creek to Supernatural and everything in between. So put on your favorite piece of fandom merch, set aside that fanfic that you're writing about your OTP, and sit back and enjoy this week's episode. Hello, and welcome to It's a Fandom Thing. I'm your host, Erin Marlowe, and it is that time of year. It is time for us to count down some of our favorites in TV, film, music, books. Maybe podcasts will come up. Maybe fanfic will come up. You never know, but it is time for us to reveal our personal best of 2025. I will, in part 2, also be giving a shout out to a few people who messaged me their own personal favorites from the year. A lot of them will probably be coming up by some of us anyway, but I'm still going to give them a shout out, but that'll be in part 2. But let me first introduce my panel, the same panel that joins me every year to count down our best of. First up, the host of OK Real Quick, Carla. Hello, Carla.
Hello, everybody.
Next up, my producer, Erin A. Hello, Erin A.
Hi there.
And next, she hasn't been on in forever. She was on when we did our 6-year anniversary celebration last night, which was a ton of fun. It went for 3 hours, which I was not anticipating. And we just played a bunch of games, but you can go to YouTube and watch that. So hello, Meg.
Hi.
And last but certainly not least, she has not been on here since last year's best of episode, Sasha. Hello, Sasha.
Hi. I think this is going to be my new MO. I'm just going to hit the highlights.
I know, because I don't even know what you've, except for a couple things you've messaged me about, but I don't even know what you've been into this year or anything. So this will be exciting to have that revealed, because some of you, I can predict things that are going to be on there. But Sasha, it's going to be an amazing mystery.
I'm a wild.
It's going to be fun, though. So first up, though, before we count down our top 10, before we get started with that, first up, I want to know, Carla, what were 3 of your favorite performances?
This was so incredibly hard, but I went with, and in no particular order, with Rose Byrne for, I'm saying for as if I'm handing out an Oscar. Rose Byrne for If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You. It was such a good performance, and I didn't expect this movie to be as good as it was. I was very happily surprised. The next one is From the Long Walk, and that's David Johnson, who played Peter McVries. Just, to me, a standout performance. Just completely mind-blowing. And, of course, you can't not mention, well, I don't know about you, but I can't not mention Sinners. The whole cast is so strong, but I'm going to say Wumi Mosaku as Annie, because I think she was really the glue that really made the story so cohesive. Just outstanding performances in the whole movie, but I don't know, she was my fave, I guess.
Awesome. I predicted 2 of your 3. I didn't predict Rose Byrne, but I should have. But I didn't predict that one. But the other two I predicted would be on
Did you
your
think it was
list.
going to be Emma Stone for Begonia?
No, actually, I didn't. But
Because that was 4.
okay, that's another one I maybe should have predicted. But I'm sure some of those movies also from where those performances are from will probably appear by one or two or whatever of us coming up. Erin A, what are 3 of yours?
Okay, this was really hard. So I'm just going to pick 3 that I really liked. I don't know if I don't know. We might get farther down the list and this might not be my favorites anymore because I've got a really big list. But I'm just going to go with 3 that I liked. I'm going to go first with Diego Luna in the final season of Andor. So good. That show would not have been the same with any other actor. He's incredible. Also, I'm going to go with Jacob, and I can never say his name right. Elordi.
Yes, that's right.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
I'm so bad at that. In Frankenstein, as they call him the creature, which seems so rude. He's like a precious little baby, but I think he was really great in that. It was so good. I watched it with my husband, and he didn't even recognize like who that was until about 3/4 of the way through. And then my third one was really hard. I'm going to go with new to me actor. I know she's been in other stuff, but Sarah Snook. She was in the series All Her Fault. I was just blown away by her. I guess she was in Succession. I've never seen that show, so I don't know. But it was a really wild show, and she was so incredible in it, just like a whole range of emotions. It was so good.
Yeah, she was really good in that show. I agree. And yeah, Jacob Elordi, that was the first performance of his that really hit me. Like normally he's done like absolutely nothing for me, but he was so good in Frankenstein. He was what made that movie, I think, good, frankly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Not a big fan of the kissing booth.
I always forget about that movie. So, Meg.
I'm going to preface this by saying I have consumed very little new media this year. It's been a hard year for me personally, which is why I haven't been on the podcast very much. So I got to say, Owen Cooper in Adolescence was really good, especially from such a young actor to put on such a great performance. It was really upsetting, I guess is the best way for me to put it. I thought Bella Ramsey did a really good job in The Last of Us season 2, just being unlikable in a lot of ways, but you're still kind of rooting for her because of everything that's going on. And then Noah Wyle in The Pit, I think he just was fantastic. And I just love Noah Wyle. So like I said, I'm gonna have some. I don't have a plethora this year, but
it's fine. It's fine.
We'll see.
You had 3.
This is what got me through 2025, guys.
Yeah, Adolescence. That's one of the best child performances I've ever seen in my life.
So good.
Yeah. Sasha.
Okay. My 3 favorite performances. And Erin, I think you're going to appreciate 2 of these. My first one is Indy from Good Boy. I want that dog to win everything. All the things that dog deserves. He is a good boy. He deserves all the treats. He deserves awards shaped like treats or treats shaped like awards, whatever. So Indy, I think, is my top performance of the year because he didn't know he was in a movie and it was amazing. Jeremy Allen White for Springsteen because he was that movie. I think he crushed it. He did a fantastic job. And that performance, I listened to Springsteen's audiobook years ago because it was narrated by him. So I kind of knew like the family drama and the hardships and everything about it. So when I saw it on the screen, I was like, oh yeah, he crushed it. And then my last one, I'm going to make a hard left and go with Jonathan Bailey for Jurassic World Rebirth and Wicked for Good because he is fantastic. I don't know that he's fantastic. He's adorable and I love everything he's in. He's just fun. And so like, yeah, the Jurassic, I've been calling it Jurassic Park number 783. That's what I've been calling it. it was just fun. It didn't take itself seriously. And then Wicked for Good. I don't know that Wicked needed to be 2 movies, and I have a whole thing about it, but I saw it with my daughter over Thanksgiving. So it'll have like that core memory of I only get to see my kid like twice a year because she lives out of state. So we went to go see it and with her girlfriend, and it was just fun, and he was great in it. So those are my 3.
Awesome list. And amazingly enough, everybody, Indy did not make my top 3 performances, even though I'm obsessed with this dog.
Wow. Wow.
I am horrified, and I don't know that I can be on podcast.
It's shocking to me too, because I am so obsessed with this dog. Fergie, I tried to show Fergie Good Bikes. It's now on Shudder if you haven't seen it. And because there's all these TikToks out there of dogs watching the movie, and she left like halfway through. And I think because she's so annoyed with how much I talk about this dog. And I'm going to LA in February, and the director who also edited it was nominated for Best Editing, which is deserved in the Film Independent Spirit Awards. And I'm going out there for those. And I'm like, if I get to meet Indy, that's like the only celebrity I want to meet. But he didn't make my top 3 performances. And I think that's just because I wanted to highlight some human performances. But he's definitely an honorable mention because Sasha, because I adore that dog. Sasha.
Just not enough. No.
Poor Indy.
I'm so devastated.
I know it's shocking because I am obsessed with that dog, and the fact that, what it took, and this will come up later, so I'm going to save it for later. So that's an honorable mention. I'll just say honorable mention. My 3 are, yes, Jeremy Allen White. I'm just saying for Springsteen, but also for The Bear, because I do think his performance in The Bear is one of the best television performances I've ever seen in my life. So definitely his. I won't say too much more. I've said some stuff about the Springsteen movie and how personal that movie is for me, and it'll come up later. Then Jessie Buckley for the movie Hamnet, which is absolutely gut-wrenching. Be prepared. It deals with child death, and it's pretty hard to watch. So just be prepared for that. It is very emotional. If you have children, it would probably be really hard to watch. But she is so, so good. And I know she's like this darling. Everybody loves her. And I really hadn't watched too much of her stuff. And so this was my first, I think, real exposure to how amazing she is. And now I'm even more excited to watch The Bride because she plays the bride in the upcoming movie directed by Maggie Gyllenhaal that also, of course, stars Christian fucking Bale as Frankenstein's monster. So I'm excited to watch her in that then as well. And then lastly, and Carla mentioned this before, David Johnson from The Long Walk. It was really hard for me to pick, honestly. But I think because that movie, a movie that I love but will never ever watch again, he's like the heart of that movie. And I do think Cooper Hoffman is also part of that heart of the movie, but he just I really wasn't familiar with him. And he just really just blew me away. The last moments of that movie will just stay with me forever. Just absolutely fantastic performance. So, okay. And amazingly enough, only one mention of a Sinners performance. And I apologize. It's not that there aren't great performances in that movie that I would mention. So.
Okay, Erin, we get it.
I'm sure it'll get talked about.
Oh, yeah. That movie is going to be mentioned. I'm not worried about that movie not getting attention.
Erin doesn't care about dogs or sinners.
It's the topsy-turvy world.
I'm as shocked by it as all of you are, since I'm obsessed with Indy. That's my number one celebrity right now. So, but anyway, let's get into our top 10. So, of course, we're going backwards. So, bottom to top. So, coming in at number 10, and I've told my panelists they can name up to 3 things in TV, film, podcast, video game, book, even like a fanfic, anything like that. So, Carla, what comes in at number 10 for you?
Okay, number 10. There were so many good horror movies this year. And just understand, my top 10 is a scramble because the only things that I could really actually rank were my top 3. So keep that in mind. But in the spot of number 10, I'm putting Weapons. It is a fantastic movie. I was just, my jaw was on the floor and I was happily freaked out. Also, Companion. I was not expecting it to be as good as it was. The premise sounded kind of like, I don't know. I don't know that I'm going to care about this. And then I did end up caring about it because it's a lot more interesting than the premise makes it out to be. And I've talked about this so much, but you just need to understand how much I loved Peter Pan's Neverland Nightmare. It's as ridiculous as it sounds, but I think that there is so much more to it than the schlock and cheese that comes from its production company, which also made Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. So basically, they're just here to defile your childhood.
Sounds awful.
I want to see that movie so bad. I love that they're doing this, frankly.
Yeah. Like, honestly, I didn't know how I would feel about it because I love Peter Pan so much. But I was like, okay, no, if they're going to do it like this, then this is the right way, I think.
Yeah, I still also need to see the Bambi one. The Bambi one actually got good reviews too. So I really need to see that one. I just haven't gotten a chance to. There are so many that I haven't seen that I know probably would end up making my list. But yeah. Okay, good. Number 10. So Erin A.
Okay, much like Carla, I cannot actually rank these. This is just a jumble of everything that I like in no particular order because I love you all equally. There's no favorites on my list. Well, there's a couple favorites, but I have grouped mine like together of like similar things, much like I think Carla did. So I will save my horror section for later. But my first couple are going to be just kind of like fun movies that I enjoyed. So my first one, the first movie that I thought was fun this year was Superman. I am obsessed with Crypto. I know he's not a real dog. Oh my gosh, he's so cute, you guys. He looks like my dog that I lost in 2020, like the fluffy white scruffy in the ears. And he's so freaking cute and he's so unruly and I love him. And I think there should be like a Crypto movie, but I know that is silly. But Superman as a whole, I really enjoyed. I'm not a crazy Superman fan, but this one I thought was really great and I liked it a lot. It was fun to watch. The next one is also going to be a superhero movie, Thunderbolts, which I think was really interesting. I think it had a lot more heart than a lot of superhero movies had, and it was funny and not in like a forced kind of funny way like some have been. And my third one I'm going to go with, again, I know I talked about this on the live stream for the party, but A Big, Bold, Beautiful Journey. I'm standing by my assertion that this is a fun movie. It's not going to win awards. It's kind of silly. It doesn't make a lot of sense, but it is cute and fun. And it's Colin Farrell and Margot Robbie like falling in love, like, and they don't even know it till like the very end. It's cute and fun and lighthearted. I think, well, mostly lighthearted, but I enjoyed it and I don't care what anybody says.
Yes, you stick with that. And Crypto may not be a real dog, but Crypto is based off a real dog.
Yes.
Crypto is CGI from James Gunn's dog. And if you follow James Gunn on TikTok, James Gunn has tons of TikToks of Crypto or of his dog, watching the Crypto footage. And it's hilarious.
I love it. I love the side-by-sides of like him bouncing.
Yes.
So cute.
Yeah. Yeah. And Crypto will be in Supergirl if you haven't seen the trailer for that. So
I'm so excited. And all of the people being mean to Crypto on the internet, like, mind your business. Go away.
Luckily, I haven't seen a single
Okay,
one
good.
of that.
Like you say, like Reddit is a terrible place. There's like a whole bunch of people saying that he's a stupid, annoying dog. I'm like, get out of my face.
Yeah, Reddit is a very dangerous place.
It's awful.
I've gotten in trouble on Reddit. Like literally, I've been told you are being mean.
Well, they're also being mean to Crypto, so they don't know what they're talking about.
People without taste.
Right?
So Meg, what comes in at number 10 for you?
I guess just a quick spoiler alert if people are watching The Mighty Nine on Prime Video. because it's based on something I've watched a ton. So, and I'm just putting it real quick because it's short. Take your earphones off or skip over if you don't want to be spoiled for the Mighty Nine. Ford and Jester's Wedding. It was a one-shot tabletop role-playing game that was just, it was something that, it's like 5 to 7 years in the making, and was really, really fun. And again, like I said, these are things that just helped me through 2025. So I'm going to say that just to get it out of the way so no more spoilers for other people. And then just because it's a comfort show for me, and it's not great this year, but I don't care. It's been my comfort show, 911. I got to put on there because I just got to. So, but that's it. Is it good TV right now? Absolutely not. Is it still better than the Nashville one? 100%.
Oh my
I
god.
mean, it's a really low bar.
Oh gosh.
Like, I watched one episode of 911 Nashville. Just, I was like, sure. I regret it. It's one of the worst things I've ever seen. And they're doing a crossover, of course, so I gotta grumble and deal with that. But 911 still has Angela Bassett, so.
It's a hard year. This year is hard, as beyond hard. So any comfort you can find it's comfort.
Yeah. It's been a rough year. Most of the stuff I've been watching has been stuff I've already seen to help with anxiety stuff.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
But I made a list, damn it.
So, Sasha, number 10 for you.
All right. So, no shock to anybody, I'm going to have a lot of books on here because that is my anti-anxiety med. I have read 80 of them this year.
Whoa, that's
Which
amazing.
is awesome.
Alarming.
That's amazing.
I don't know that it's awesome and amazing. It's alarming. So last year, one of my top ones, this is a sequel. It's a series. So it's the second one, and it's called Caught Up. It goes with the Lights Out series. So it's a dark romance. Check your trigger warnings. Check your trigger warnings. So this is the second one, Caught Up. The third one is coming out next year in the spring. So dark romance, just fun, cotton candy for the brain, fluff, requires very little cognitive stuff. And then my second is going to be a movie, and that is High School Catfish, because that one blew me away.
No, yeah.
Catfish was a documentary on Netflix, and it threw me for a loop. I won't spoil it for anybody who hasn't seen it, but go watch it because you don't expect what's going to happen.
Yeah, it's sad. So for my 10s, first one is a movie that probably nobody else on this panel has seen, and probably a lot of you out there haven't seen. And it's this little small movie that I happened to see at a mystery screening at the Alamo, and it's called EFIS. And it's a very simple premise. There's not a lot of quote unquote action. And it's a baseball movie, but it's not like a baseball movie like with major league players or anything. It's about these middle-aged men who have been getting together for like their own little team, like softball, baseball teams to play just for fun at this local baseball field that's in like a public park. And that field is going to be like turned into something else and paved over. And so they're playing their last game. And so it's really a movie about, your dreams when you get older and how life changes and, the changing of things like from your youth or from when you were younger and those becoming newer things or different things. And it's really just about a bunch of characters playing baseball. It recently won an award from some critics association. I can't remember which one, for best independent like screenplay, which was a nice surprise because this is like a really hidden gem out there. So I recommend it, especially if you love baseball. I really, really recommend it if you love baseball as much as I do. But it's a really sweet movie. I think you can probably rent it. I don't believe it's streaming anywhere right now, but yeah, that's the first one. And then next one is another dog movie called The Friend. And I do want to say, the dog is fine. The dog survives. I want to just make sure that is known. And the dog is Bing, who is probably my second favorite dog performance of the year, just behind Indy. And Bing is a Great Dane. And it is about Naomi Watts' character, who's a writer, and her best friend, played by Bill Murray, dies. And also trigger warning for suicide, because that's how he dies. And he leaves her this dog, Bing. And she's like, I don't know what to do with this dog. I don't know how to take care of this dog. And the dog is grieving. And you don't really see many movies that are talking about the fact that not only the human is grieving, but a dog is grieving. And so it's about their relationship. Be prepared to cry. I cried so much in this movie because if you love dogs, it's like beautiful watching this dog. This dog is amazing and so good. Like, this is a trained dog. Indy wasn't trained. This dog is definitely a trained dog, but it's a beautiful little sweet movie. And I loved Naomi Watts in it as well. But trigger warnings for suicide. So just let you know on that. And then lastly, another movie that not too many people talked about, but really kind of was a surprise. I have a lot of surprises on this list. EFIS was a surprise too. And that's this movie called Neighborhood Watch with Jeffrey Dean Morgan, and also one of our Nepo babies that we do like on this podcast, Jack Quaid. And this is one of the best performances I have ever seen Jack Quaid give. This is a very different kind of movie. It's about Jack Quaid's character is convinced that this woman has been kidnapped, and he's trying to get anyone to listen to him. And his neighbor is like a retired security officer who was like kind of driven out of the job and worked at like a college. And that's Jeffrey Dean Morgan's character. And they developed this unlikely friendship bond, but it also deals heavy with schizophrenia. Like, that's Jack Quaid's character has schizophrenia. And that's a lot of the reason why people won't listen to him about this stuff that's happening. So it's a lot about mental illness and how we treat people with mental illnesses, and also family members dealing with that because he's living with his sister who's having to help him. And so it's heavy themes, and it's really the hallucinations, because he does have hallucinations in auditory and visual, but big on the auditory, might be triggering for some people. So just heavy triggers on that. But it's, I think, a really, really good film, a really interesting film. And I think Jack Quaid is so fantastic in this movie. So I think you can watch that on Prime right now. So that's my 10. Okay, so we are going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we're going to talk about numbers 9 to 8. Okay, so Carla, what comes in at number 9 for you?
For me, number 9, I call this the Erin Trinity. And this is where Erin has influenced my viewing behavior. So basically, a lot of my obsessions this year are her fault. First of all. So thank you, Erin.
You're welcome.
The first one that I'll mention is The Bear, because that one, and I'll bring it up again later why I started watching The Bear. But I started watching The Bear. I had never watched it before. I was like, this looks too stressful and too boring, and maybe I'll watch it some other time. And then I watched it this year, and it was stressful, yes, but not boring. It's one of the best shows. The writing is superb. The cinematography is, oh my gosh, it is beautiful. Even if it didn't have excellent acting and writing and directing, it's just a beautifully shot show. But yes, it has the great writing and fantastic acting. The acting is so good. Jeremy Allen White, Ayo Debari, just everybody on that show really just knocks it out of the park every single time. Jamie Lee Curtis is in it in a role that I think is so different from anything she's done in her, long career. And, as somebody who has grown up watching a lot of Jamie Lee Curtis movies, it was just so shocking to see her in this particular role. But it's so believable the way that she does it. Just so good. So that's one thing I'll mention. The other thing I'll mention is from The Bear, which is me shipping Sid and Carmi. And that is something, again, did not expect to watch The Bear. Certainly did not expect to have a ship come from that show. I also didn't expect to have a hetero ship on my bingo card this year, but here we are. So that was a surprise to me. But, Erin and I had a long talk about it. There's an episode that you can listen to if you want to listen to us go on at length about Sid and Carmi, which, maybe you should. It's good times. And then the third Erin special, if you will, for 2025 for me is, and I have it on my notes as unexpected white hetero ship. And that's Chad and Kat from Days of Our Lives.
Oh my God, this is amazing. I did not expect that one to make the list.
Well, Erin, speaking of things we did not expect, I didn't expect to be watching anything to do with American soaps ever in my life. Ever in my life. That was something that I was like, I'm never doing this. These soaps go back way too long, and I have telenovelas if I want to watch that kind of stuff. But no, now this is part of my life, and it is a delight because, oh my gosh, I'm angry at Jennifer and at Rachel and like a little bit of angry at Thomas, and I just really want Chad and Kat to like be locked in more elevators and make out and like nurse each other back to health from having the flu. This is what my life has become in the last like few weeks. I am as perplexed as any of you might be. I'm not complaining though, because it is so much fun. And Erin is so kind. She sends me little bite-sized clips that I could just watch and react to. So I get to react like moment by moment to this pairing. And mind you, I'm not watching anything about anything else on the soap. I don't know who else is on the soap. I don't know what their lives are like. Also, I don't care if it's not related to Kat and Chad. They can rot. I don't care. I'm here for my white straights.
White straights. I was not expecting that, Carla. That just took me by the bear and the Sid Carmi, yes, but that I was not expecting.
I don't know how you were not expecting. I am entirely too enthusiastic in my responses. I'm like, like falling apart, being like, oh my God, Erin, they're making out. I'm so happy.
Because if listeners don't already know, I watch Days of Our Lives. I've been watching Days of Our Lives on and off since I was a kid, and I watch it every day. It's on Peacock if you want to know where you can watch it. And I was really upset by something the character Jennifer, who's been on that show for decades, did, and it involves Chad. And I was like, I have no one to complain about this to because no one I know watches Days of Our Lives, and I just wanted to just rage. And so I sent Carla this long rage thing about that. And then it ended up being where I'd send clips from the current. And then I'm like, oh, you should see this scene where Chad and Kat are stuck in an elevator. This literally happened on the show. And so I went back to August, I believe it was, and started recording his episodes. And then now I just record the stuff when Chad and Kat are on. And it's just become this thing, and it's just so funny. And I'm having so much fun recording them. Fergie gets annoyed with me every time because she starts climbing on
cameos.
Me. Yeah, and she'll make like cameos in the videos. But yeah, so that was amazing. Thank you for that, Carla, and you're welcome.
No, thank you.
If I could just do that with everybody. So Erin A, are your 9s Erin's as well?
Give me a minute. I need to rewrite some stuff. No. Oh man, no, mine are not. Mine are silly. I'm gonna go with my silly ones for number 9. Of like you were saying earlier, this has been a year, and sometimes you just want to watch something like funny and kind of dumb. So I've got a couple of comedy show series on my list. The first one is called Going Dutch. It's a TV series on Fox, and it's ridiculous. It's so silly. The premise is basically like this grumpy old military general played by Dennis Leary, so you can imagine like the grumpiness of it. Does something really offensive and gets basically banished to this base in the Netherlands that's like basically like where all the misfits go, and he's like trying to whip him into shape and stuff, and it goes predictably as terribly as you would think, but in a hilarious way. There's some really great people in it. It's just like absolutely ridiculous and stupid, but it's really funny and fun to watch. Another kind of silly show that I've been enjoying lately. I think the second season is currently ongoing. They did like 2 seasons were released this year, I think, which is weird, but it's called St. Denis Medical. It's on, what is it on? It's on Peacock.
Yeah.
Yes. And it's like a mockumentary workplace comedy thing and in a hospital. And it's just so silly and ridiculous. And it's been making me happy lately. So I love that. Wendy McClendon from all sorts of fantastic shows, Reno 911, The Goldbergs. She's so great. She's like the executive director of this hospital. Just silly stuff happens and it's funny. And I'm going to throw another one on here. I don't know if it's like one of my favorite things, but there's a show called DMV on Paramount Plus that is just so stupid. It's got a bunch of people I'm not familiar with besides Tim Meadows in it. And it's so dumb. It's like literally about working in a DMV, kind of like a sitcom workplace thing. And I find it very amusing because when you're working with the public, like so many of these things are true and so funny. So that's another one that's just kind of like, oh, I need a break from everything in the world. And I'm just going to watch something funny.
Yeah, I haven't watched either of those, but I see like the ads for them constantly, especially the St. Denis Medical, because I see it when I'm watching Days. And I mean to watch it because I've heard it get really good reviews, and Peacock is actually a really good streamer, I want to say. And with even their commercials, it's not too invasive. Like it's usually only like a couple commercials.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll have to check that one out. But
yeah, Peacock's got some good stuff lately.
Yeah, they do. So Meg?
Yeah, I'm going to do, like everyone else said, this is not like a top 10 ranking because I can't rank anything for the life of me. But these are some of the docuseries that I liked this year. First one is Scamanda. And it's basically about this woman who was like a really popular blogger, and she's like just, that wonderful wife, mother, everything. And then she's going through this cancer journey and she's inspiring everybody with her blog about her cancer journey and everything like that. And then there's an investigative journalist who's like, wait a minute, this doesn't seem right. And it's basically just this entire hoax, basically, though. And it was just, it's very frustrating. So I talk about how hard my year was. I'm like, let me watch stuff that just makes me mad. Because sometimes it's real nice to just focus that energy on something. Speaking of another one that just made me mad, The Perfect Neighbor. Yeah, The Perfect Neighbor. And that's just a really horrifying documentary about a woman who basically doesn't like the kids in her neighborhood playing around in the neighborhood and being loud. And it shows a lot of just like silly grievance calls and stuff like that, calling 911 over and over and over again. And then eventually one of the parents goes to confront her, and she's an old white woman neighbor, and the neighborhood is predominantly people of color. And she shoots and kills the mother. And it's kind of about all the stuff that was leading up to that, and her trying to claim like castle, stand your ground and stuff like that. And that was incredibly frustrating and angering to watch. But I also felt like it was an important thing to watch because you see just these horrible circumstances. Sorry, I got a little moment there. And then I guess my third one, this is my topic of things that made me really mad, was a docuseries called Unknown Number.
Oh yeah.
And that one I won't kind of talk about. The other two, it was pretty clear in the beginning what the situation was, so I didn't feel like. But this one I won't tell you the result of it. But it's like this 13-year-old girl and her boyfriend start getting these horrible, mean or sexual, terrible text messages, and it's just like, I think it's like 2 years or something, that it just keeps going and keeps going, and it's horrible. And then at the end, like, I don't want to spoil it if you haven't watched it or anything like that, but it was another one that was just like, great, people are awesome.
Yeah.
But it's really good. And like I said, if you're ever like, God, I'm feeling really frustrated and I need to really focus that anger on something, might I suggest those 3 docuseries? You'll get angry or you will sob.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's cathartic. So yeah, those are my 3 for that one.
Yeah, there were a lot of docuseries this year that were rage-inducing.
Yeah, they were really good, but it's like, oh, okay.
Sasha.
Yeah, real quick about The Perfect Neighbor. My favorite scene was when she's in the police station and I think she realizes that she's done for and they want her to go to the jail. And she's like, I'm not moving.
Oh my God.
And they're like, you're going to get up and walk. She's like, no, I'm not going to walk. And they're like, we're going to carry you. And she's like, no, I'm not doing this. I'm done. I'm like, you cannot throw a temper tantrum. You were a grown ass woman. Get your butt up.
The entitlement and just the arrogance of that woman. I remember hearing about it on the news, like when this happened. I wanted to reach through this. I wanted to drive down there and it was just
horrible.
Could not stand that woman.
Horrible. All right. I only have 2 for my 9. So my movie number 9 is going to be Jurassic Park number 783. Because here's the reason. It didn't take itself seriously. It was a dinosaur movie for dinosaur's sake. There was nothing like, oh, we're trying to make a statement. It was literally just action, fun, shenanigans, stupid. Like, how can you go wrong? Especially this year when you need that, like, fluff. So Jurassic Park number 783. I've said it so many times I don't remember the actual title of that movie, so I apologize to my diehard Jurassic Park people who are like, God damn her, this is the name. Sorry, it is what it is. And then for number 9 for my book is The Knight and the Moth, which is a romantasy fantasy series. The character that makes this book is a gargoyle who calls everybody Bartholomew. He doesn't care what your name is. You are now Bartholomew, and he is amazing and adorable. There will be another one. So this is the first one in a series. It was thoroughly enjoyable. Again, fantasy, just fun. So those are my number 9s.
Is that knight with a K or an N?
With a K, like the chivalry knight.
Perfect.
Knight and the Moth. There will be more of them. But again, he calls everybody Bartholomew.
Nice.
He's just this crazy little gargoyle character. He's just a sidekick that sometimes the sidekicks steal the book. And he really does.
Awesome. Okay, so my 9s first up is Frankenstein, which once again, mainly for Jacob Elordi's performance. I do think the movie's a little too long. I did see this on Halloween. It was my Halloween movie, and I'm glad I got to see it on a big screen because this is a Netflix movie, but it was released limitedly in theaters, and it was one of those that really should have had a longer theatrical run, in my opinion, because it deserves to be seen on the screen because it's really beautiful, I think, to look at. And then next up is a documentary that you can watch on HBO Max, and that's called It's Not Over, Jeff Buckley, and it's about the singer Jeff Buckley, singer-songwriter, who he sadly, tragically died in, he fell into, he went swimming in this lake, and he shouldn't have done it because, I'm not, blaming him, but, it had huge currents, and he got washed away in the current and tragically died. And he was known as one of the best singers of his generation. And it's talking about his rough upbringing and 2 of his loves of his life. And then also music and counterculture and all this kind of stuff. And I just thought it was really good, especially if you like Jeff Buckley. Of course, Jeff Buckley was best known for his version of Hallelujah, which became this huge hit, of course, and success. And I think it is one of the best versions of that song. And so I recommend that if you are a fan of Jeff Buckley or if you're a music person in general. And then lastly, and I won't say too much about it because you can listen to our episode discussing it, but lastly is Superman, which I was not expecting anything from this movie. I was like, okay, I want to go to a movie, and it was between this and I think it was Fantastic Four, which I had no desire to see anyway. But I was kind of like, okay, what should I see? And I had people vote, and this is what won. And I used to love Superman as a child, and I really had not been into Superman at all for a long time, not since that one show with that horrible, awful Dean Cain, Lois and Clark. I hadn't really been a fan of Superman since then. So this was the first time that I have been, and you can hear more of my thoughts on why I think it's a really good superhero movie on our episode that Carla and I did back in, I believe it was September, August. It was in August, I think. Yeah. So go back and listen to that for more of my thoughts on that one. Okay. So Carla, what do you have at number 8?
Number 8 is my book category. And that one, okay. I read the book, We'll Prescribe You Another Cat. And this is a sequel to a book named, you're going to be so surprised, We'll Prescribe You a Cat. And these two books, they're so sweet and they're just very like chill reads if you just want to read something that's fun and light and kind of life affirming, because the premise of the book is that these people just happen to run into this clinic and they've never heard of it before. They don't know what this clinic is for, but they go in and they're like, hi, I'm having this problem, or sometimes they can't even bring themselves to admit that they have a problem. And the doctor's like, oh, I see. Okay, we'll prescribe you a cat, and sends them home with a cat and with instructions on how to care for the cat. And what ends up happening is that through, caring for the cat and dealing with the cat's issues or the issues that the cats bring up into their home, they start to learn how to cope with their own like actual life problems. It's again, very easy read, very fluffy, like a cat sometimes. And it's just, I love it. My husband loves it. My kid loves it. So it's one of those rare books that I'm not rushing to shut off when my kid's in the car with me, which has been very nice. A book that is the complete opposite of it. Well, basically, I would shut it off if my kid is in the car only because it's so like emotionally taxing, is Sunrise and the Reaping. Okay, The Hunger Games, they're written. It's a series aimed at kids, and I think it's very important, especially right now with everything going on, that kids are aware of what their future might look like and why, and that's why the Hunger Games series is so important. But Sunrise and the Reaping, it's a prequel, and it centers on the life of Hamish Abernathy and his games, and what happened there and what led him to become the person that he was at the beginning of the Hunger Games series. It is devastating. It is emotionally eviscerating. The only book that was more hard to get through was the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. This is a close second. It's, oh my gosh. There were points at which I felt thoroughly overwhelmed because the way that just the things that these kids go through, it's a lot. I think it's kind of an important book, especially right now. And then the last book that I'll mention, it's called El Atzoe, and it's by Darcy Little Badger. The description is a young adult fantasy novel about a Lipan Apache teen named Ellie who can raise ghosts of dead animals, most notably her dog Kirby, and uses her ancestral magic to investigate her cousin's murder. It's so good. It's so good. And I love her little ghost dog, and her relationship with her family is wonderful. And it's a really good book. It's moving. I like the kind of magic in the book. The world building, I think, is fantastic in it. And it has, horror and like detective and crime, but also ghosts. So that's always fun.
Yeah. So, Erin A.
Okay, I've got 2 documentaries that I think were really good that I thought about for a long time after I watched them. And the first one is Pee-wee as himself. And it's basically like the history of Paul Rubens. And going into it, I wasn't like a super fan of Paul Rubens. Like he seemed fine to me, like, okay. But just knowing his whole backstory and his life, and it was a lot. There's 2 episodes. It's on HBO Max, and I had to take a break. I think I waited a week before I watched the second episode because it's just, wow, there's so much in there. It just is very emotional. It was really, really good. And unfortunately, it was released after his death. He made a final recording that's kind of, I think, the final scene of it that he made the day before he died and left for the creators to include. And it was just, it's a lot, but it was really good, really well done, very interesting. And the other one, and like Meg, things that make me mad, there's one also on HBO Max called The Mortician. And the most disgusting human beings being allowed to operate for so long. And basically this family that ran a funeral home just mistreating remains and just ruining people's lives, hundreds, maybe thousands of people, that went on for decades. And they interview a guy from the family. He only got sent to prison for 5 years for all of this, which is just mind-blowing. And he has zero remorse. It's unconscionable how he still can't understand what he did wrong. And there's 3 episodes, and it's just one thing after the other of like, how did this happen? And like, especially in the news this year, there's been several other instances of things like this happening. And it's just heartbreaking. And just the things that this family did, and that, like, it seems like none of them seem to care, even after they went to prison for it, which is wild. But it was really good. It's also like really pretty sad to watch, and took a while to get through the 3 episodes, but it was so good. So well done.
Yeah, infuriating. Very infuriating. So Meg, your 8s.
I guess I'm going to do my little T Swift moment. Like, I know I'm alone here. But Life of a Showgirl was her new album. It came out, and it was just really very different from her other stuff. It was really happy and boppy. I liked that, in particular, the song Father Figure, because she got her master's. She was able to buy her master's back. But one of her songs, Father Figure, she credited George Michael as a writer, because George Michael was never able to own his music. And that was kind of a big fight for him. So he's credited as a writer rather than her sampling his song Father Figure. So his estate is getting royalties for that, which I thought was great. And her docuseries on Disney Plus is called End of an Era. It's about the Eras Tour. And like, for that one, I feel like even if you're not a fan of Taylor Swift, it's really interesting because she's not really a big focus of the series. It's a lot about the people who made this massive tour happen. There's a lot about the audio engineers and just all of the behind the scenes work that make something so big happen and move it from place to place over and over again. And it's really interesting just from a production point of view, other than just it being Taylor Swift. So
Awesome. Cool. I was like, are we going to get any music yet? I mean, we're still early on. So, Sasha.
All right. My number 8. I am going to plug the Denver Center of Performing Arts right now. I've talked about it before. I do their theater package. So it's not the big Broadway musicals, but it's the small theater shows. It's like $350 or $60 a year for the season tickets, and you get like 7 or 8 shows. It's totally worth it. It's not like outrageous. They have payment plans, but they put on really, really good shows. So my number 8 is The Suffragettes' Murder, which was loads of fun. I'm going to have a bunch of live theater on my list as we creep up. So that was great. Movies, Wicked for Good. I won't talk about it because, like, I already did. It's just going to hold a space because of my daughter. I know it's not top tier material, but you know, when family's involved, it's good stuff. And then my number 8 for books is Go Luck Yourself. This is the second one in a series. Last year was The Nightmare Before Christmas, and So now this is the spare heir to Christmas is falling in love with the heir to St. Patrick's Day. They hate each other. Last year's was the Prince of Christmas and the Prince of Halloween who didn't like each other and fell in love. And now it's the two princes, the spare prince and the Prince of St. Patrick's Day. They're like holiday, cute, little gay love story fun. The thing that sold me on the first one, a friend and I decided that was going to be our Christmas book, was Sounds Gay, I'm In, was one of the reviews. And we're like, down, let's do this. So Go Luck Yourself is the second one. They're just campy, silly, snarky little holiday fantasy world. So those are my 8s.
Awesome. And awesome that we have some live theater. Cool. Yeah. Coming in first at number 8 for me is, yes, the Silent Night, Deadly Night remake. I really honestly, when I saw the trailer, well, first, when I saw they were remaking Silent Night, Deadly Night, I was like, why? There's no reason to do that. And then when I saw the trailer, I was really, really hyped to see it, actually. And then when they released the footage of Santa Claus killing over 20 Nazis, I was like, I am definitely in. This movie is so much fun. It is so much fun. And I'm sorry, but I like Billy. I like Santa. I like the Santa Claus murderer. I think Rowan Campbell is such a good addition to the horror landscape. He was, of course, got a lot of hate because people didn't like his character in Halloween Ends. I'm a defender of that movie. And I thought a lot of the reason it worked was because of him. And I just think he's a really, really good horror actor. And listening to him talk about the genre makes me like him even more because he respects the genre so much and always talks about how, you know, people in that fandom, in that world are so nice and so kind and so welcoming. And so it makes me like him a lot. But it was just a blast. And I really hope if you want to see it, please try and see it on the big screen because I really, really want the sequel. I love Cineverse, the small studio, because they did such a good job on marketing this movie. They did such a good job with Toxic Avenger, with marketing that one as well, with the paying off medical debts and everything. So I think they're a great studio. So if you can, go support this. We dressed up, Moth and I, in Santa hats, took pictures, and I had my, Christmas sweater, my Michael Myers Christmas sweater. So it was a blast. I highly recommend it if you like campy slashers. I think it'll really, really, really tickle you. Next up is a little movie on Netflix called Train Dreams. It did have a theatrical run, a little small one. And this stars Joel Edgerton, who I think is one of the most underrated actors we have around today. And there is talk that he will likely get an Oscar nomination for this performance. Makes me very happy because he's deserved Oscar nominations in the past. And this movie will not be for everybody. Some people are going to find it extremely boring. And I understand, but this is really a character study. That's really what this movie is. And it is about people that worked helping to build trains and the rail system and all of that. And it's about, of course, like classism, the early stages of, capitalism and the downfall of that. There's racism in this as well. So triggers for that and triggers for implied child death. You don't really see it. But triggers for that. But I really, really liked it. It kind of surprised me how much I liked it. So you can watch that on Netflix. And then lastly, and this is kind of a mixed bag for me, even though I put it on this list, but is Severance, the second season of Severance. And the reason I say it's a mixed bag is because I like Severance a lot, but I do think Severance is edging towards that thing of we're going to be weird for weirdness' sake. And that really worries me. But I still really like the show. I think the performances are fantastic. That's on Apple TV. And once again, Apple TV doesn't know how to promote their stuff. Except for this, they do promote this one pretty well, but they still don't know how to promote their stuff. And they have really good shows on Apple TV. But you can hear more about me talk about that along with Tanya and Sarah. If you become a Patreon supporter, we did a special episode talking about season 2. We spoil everything. And so you can click the link in the show notes or go to the support us tab on itsafandomthingpod.com. And for as little as $3 a month, you can get a bonus episode of us talking about that along with lots of other bonus episodes as well. And sometimes you win prizes too. So yeah. Thank you, Sasha. Sasha has been so great at promoting like all of the prizes because Sasha came in first in our horror trivia event this year, and lots of wonderful prizes were donated by some wonderful, amazing people, including Carla. And Erin A helped a lot with everything, with the with the boards, the trivia boards. And so congratulations again, Sasha, for
It was fun to randomly get mail. It was like, you have a package coming. And I look at my husband. I'm like, what did you order? He's like, nothing. I'm like, I didn't order anything.
And then it's
And he's like, well, maybe I did order something. And then it comes. He's like, no, it's for you. I'm like, I didn't. What is happening? So it was fun to get these little mystery packs. Yes, become a Patreon. It's the best thing I do.
Thank you.
Support people.
Thank you. We're going to take another quick break. And when we come back, we are going to do the last two for part 1. And those are numbers 7 to 6. So we'll be right back. Okay, so Carla, what comes in at number 7 for you?
This is like the first year where I can't really say, oh my gosh, there was so much great TV. I feel like I think I just maybe wasn't watching that much TV in the first place. But the things that I did like. Okay, so I'm going to start with High Potential. And this is one that Meg had talked about at some point. And I started watching it because she said, hey, this one's really good. I'm like, this looks good and funny. So yay, let's do this. It's so good. It's fun. It's absolutely propaganda, but 90% of, not 90%, but like a lot of shows that feature cops are just propaganda. And this one is primarily about somebody who isn't a cop. She's just somebody who is she's gifted. She's able to see patterns in things and has incredible retention for information, and is somebody that people underestimate because of how she dresses and what she looks like. So it's just fun in the sense that, okay, so yeah, like her ex-husband is like missing and maybe murdered and maybe not murdered. So that's not fun. But, the way that she approaches life is. And her kids are adorable and great. And Taran Killam is in it. And I love him. So if he's in it, I'm probably going to watch it anyway. So this was a fun surprise. Things that were not fun, but still excellent. The Last of Us this season was so hard. I cried so much, and I'm not happy at how much I cried about it. It's the TV show. Let me have fun. But I did this to myself because I did watch the whole thing, and it's excellent. The acting was so good. I mean, the acting was good in the first season. This season, like, they went above and beyond. And for the people who are mad about what happened, it's like it was always going to happen. Stop trying to make things not happen just because you're attached to a character. That's not how stories work. Let it go. And then the third series that I'm going to mention is Paradise. I was not expecting to like Paradise as much as I did. This is a show I watched on a whim. I was like, ooh, Sterling K. Brown is in it. And James Marsden. Okay, sure. Let's give it a whirl. Oh my gosh. It's sci-fi, it's thriller, it's post-apocalyptic. So like all kinds of things that I like and fear. So, here's to me confronting my fears. But it's so good. The acting, Sterling K. Brown is, of course, fantastic in it. The premise is, hey, the world's ending and say goodbye to your loved ones. By the way, some of us who are rich and politically powerful have a secret bunker that we can get to. So come with me if you want to live, but only if I like you enough. And it blows my mind because it's not particularly far-fetched given how capitalism and classism works. But it's so good. I love it. And that's my TV journey.
Awesome. So, Erin A.
Yes, Paradise is also on my list. So good. But right now, I'm going to go with the few amount of horror movies that I did watch this year and the ones that I thought were really, really great. The first one, I am such a sucker for the Conjuring movies, and The Conjuring Last Rites, I really enjoyed. I just looked it up, and it is the 9th movie in this series. So yes, much like Jurassic Park, The Conjuring, number 732. I don't even care. Apparently they're going to make another one now. So like a prequel. But it was good. It kind of seemed like it like finished Ed and Lorraine's story, which makes sense that they're going to do a prequel now. I don't know how that's going to go, but I enjoyed it. I think it wrapped it up nice. I was totally okay with this being the last movie. So that's kind of how I went into it. So I thought it was great. My second one is a TV show that I think falls in the horror category, which I think is probably, I don't know, Dexter Resurrection. I really liked it. I think, I don't know. I've talked to people that loved it and hated it. I don't know. I thought it was excellent. I liked it a whole lot better than the New Blood. What was the first one? I don't know.
Blood.
Yeah. I didn't even finish that one. It annoyed me. This one was so good. So I thought it was great. I'm watching it on Paramount Plus, but I don't know what it's on. But it was so good. I mean, you can't go wrong with Dexter. What more is there to say? I love it. Michael C. Hall is the best. And the last one is a movie that I just watched yesterday or the day before. So it's really fresh in my mind. So maybe that's why I'm enjoying it so much right now, making my list. But it's Queens of the Dead. And it's the first full-length movie from Tina Romero, George Romero's daughter. And it's just really fun. It's like a horror comedy. It's so silly. They're just a bunch of they're having a warehouse party and then the apocalypse breaks out, right? So drag queens, just like a bunch of bartenders, club kids, whatever, stuck in this warehouse trying to survive zombies. And it's so over the top, but it works. It's so good. The zombies are just silver body paint. So they're all sparkly and they have perfectly contoured cheeks and stuff. It's so great. It's silly. And it's literally just one-liner after another for the whole movie. But it's great. I love it. And there's some really touching things in it. There's some really great cast. Katie O'Brien, I love her. Our Jack Haven, who was in one of my favorite movies last year from I Saw the TV Glow. Nina West, a fantastic drag queen. Dominique Jackson, who was one of my favorite actors from Pose. Just a great cast. It's just really fun. It's silly. People, I think some of the negative reviews are taking it way too seriously, but it's good. So that's my horror favorites this year.
Yeah, I was so excited when I saw that was on Shudder now.
Yeah, it's on Shudder.
So I'm gonna have to watch that one. And I thought when you were saying Dexter Resurrection, I thought you were talking about Dexter Original Sin. I haven't watched Dexter Resurrection. I actually really liked
Original Sin. No,
I thought it was so good. I was really pissed that I liked it. I was really pissed because I didn't want to like it. And it was one that actually when I first started, I was and then it just all of a sudden it became really great. And that was one that they had renewed when it dropped. And then they canceled it. They canceled the renewal of it, which is so flippin' shitty because so many people didn't have a job now because they just decided to up and cancel it, even though it was very popular. And it actually, a lot of people liked it. So yeah, but I haven't watched Resurrection yet. It's on my list to watch it at some point, of course, because I love Michael C. Hall too. I do think we need to stop with Dexter shows though, personally, but I need to watch it. And I loved New Blood too, but the one that came out a couple years ago. So Meg?
I'm going to echo Carla because they're also, two of her picks are also on my list. So why not? Yeah, High Potential is just, I love it. It's fun. I like the cast, and I just think, Carla said a lot of what I was going to say, but I think Caitlin Olsen does a great job. Yeah, it's a good show. It's fun. You should watch it. There's 10 episodes or 20 episodes out total. It's pretty easy to catch up on. My kid and I both like to watch it together, which is nice, which unfortunately means I'm not caught up because getting our schedules to match up is fantastic. Don't ever watch shows with people, guys. Just watch them by yourselves. And The Last of Us season 2, I think it was fantastic. I know a lot of people were really, really upset, but them's the breaks. I think waiting for Carla to catch up was, was the roughest. Just big spoiler and be like, okay, have you watched, what episode are you on? What you do? So yeah, I thought it was really, really good. I'm looking forward to the third season coming out. And I'm also glad that if I remember correctly, they decided it was either 3 or 4 seasons that they were going to wrap it up in. So knowing that when the ending is going to be, I think is great for shows to be able to tell their complete story and plan for it. So yeah, those are my 2 this time.
Awesome. Sasha, you're 7.
Yep. Another live theater one. I saw Back to the Future at the Denver Center, which was amazing and super fun. And they had the DeLorean. They did the whole thing. So again, live theater people, we need to support the arts. My movie is I Know What You Did Last Summer. I will not take any comments or feedback on that. And then my book is Onyx Storm, which is part of the Fourth Wing series. We are entering the 3rd book trauma of a series where they just destroy everything and you go, what the hell is going to be next? Like, how do you survive this and come back from it? So yeah, those are my 7s. Short and sweet.
Awesome. Thank you. My number 7's first up is the film starring my celebrity crush, Indy, Good Boy. This movie is such a truly independent movie, and that's what makes me so happy about the success of this film, because really, it was the director's dog, and the director and his wife basically were the 2 people primarily making this. The director teaches film as a professor. His wife does like some science thing in as her day job. And they filmed this over 400 days to make sure Indy was comfortable. And like the scenes when you see it, it looks like Indy might be scared or traumatized or something. There's a whole thing when you saw it in the theater where after the credits, they told you all the behind the scenes, how they got those shots and how really it was a silly thing that was going on at the time when this is supposedly like a scary thing, which also highlights how important editing is and how important sound is and lighting and everything like that. So it gives you an appreciation of filmmaking. And that's why I also love this movie, because it's a love letter to how editing can change and make a film. And I think it's just a really sad but beautiful story about, something that we don't really ever see stories about from a dog's point of view. And I don't really want to say, because I know a lot of it is also up for interpretation, but some of the themes I believe it's exploring are things we haven't seen explored from the point of view of a dog. And it's just amazing. And the fact that it didn't come off as a gimmick. It didn't come off as cheesy. The dog doesn't talk. There's no like voiceover for the dog or anything like that. And Indy has the most expressive face in the world. And I think it works best because the dog is not trained. I actually think that's to its credit. So I love it. You can watch it now. Shudder, of course. And if you want to know, I will tell you right now, if you don't want to know on here about the dog's fate, because everybody wants to know, the dog lives, the dog survives. So,
I don't think it'd be on your list otherwise.
Oh no, it actually probably might be. I don't like watching animals get harmed, but if it's the purpose of the story and it fits the story, because there are some movies that I love where a dog does die. So yeah, so I actually, even though I love dogs more than people, depending on the movie and how they do it, but I totally understand why people can't watch it, when animals are hurt or die. And then next up is a movie that I am so mixed on Yorgos Lanthimos. Like, I hate The Favorite. I know a lot of people love that movie. I liked Poor Things. I really am not a fan of The Lobster. I think Killing of a Sacred Deer is just, ugh. But I really liked Begonia. And I know this kind of came and went, but there is talk about Oscar buzz around this. I don't want to say too much about this movie. I think you should see it. There are some triggers in this. And I think, well, it's kind of a spoiler to say one of the triggers, but if you want to know, just you can message me or Carla, because Carla's the only other person that I know for sure in our panelists that have seen this movie. But I really, really liked it. It's very different. At first, I wasn't sure I was going to like the way it ended, but I actually do really like it. I think it's really funny. It's one of those experiences where I saw it with a packed theater and there were only like me and a couple other people laughing. And I'm like, nobody's getting the humor in this. I think Emma Stone is great, but I think Jesse Plemons is like the most fantastic performance in the film. He is such a good actor and I love watching him. So I recommend it, but it won't be for everybody for sure. And then lastly, the cheesiest thing probably that's going to be on my list, or not cheesy, trashiest thing that's going to be on my list. And that is the Netflix show, The Hunting Wives. This show became like this thing, for when it was out. And it's with Brittany Stowe and a few other people. And it's trashy. It's about these Dallas, stay-at-home wives kind of, and other little seedy extracurricular activities and the other things they do. And yeah, so there's not really too much I want to say about it because it's just kind of trashy and it ends in kind of a cliffhanger, but I was fine with it. But I thought it was fun. So if you're looking for something trashy and fun, I recommend that one. Okay, so our last one for this part is our number 6s. So, Carla, what comes in at 6?
So I've given this a lot of thought in the last 7 to 10 minutes. And I think that the reason I don't have so many music or TV things on my list is because of how much time I've spent watching stuff on YouTube. There have been so many really, really good YouTube videos. They go deep into why things are broken. So I'm going to talk about 3 of them that I loved, especially this year. One of them is, well, first of all, just the channel More Perfect Union. I think everybody should be subscribed to and watch at least some of their videos. They have some really great in-depth looks into, why the country is being crap. But the one that stands out to me right now is what Poland Spring doesn't want you to know. And it's basically the company Poland Spring and how it acquires its water, how it affects the people surrounding where the water should be going, just the entire bottled water industry, and why it's so harmful for the earth, for consumers, for the locals. And then when you take that information and then expand upon it and look at all of the companies selling you water and where they're getting their water from, it's eye-opening. And that's a lot of their videos. A lot of their videos are like this. They take an aspect of an issue and they dig into it. It's a great channel. Another one that I'll mention is the DC Squatter series on News 7 WJLA. The investigation was done by Felicia Ashley. And this is why journalism is so important. And the gutting of journalism is so awful and cutting. There's a person who was renting at a home as an Airbnb, and then a person rented the Airbnb and then stayed and kept staying and kept staying and would not leave. And she couldn't get her to leave. And what they were saying was basically, well, now she has tenancy rights. And DC tenancy rights are very strong, which can be great, but can also, on the other side, make it so that you lose your property, basically. It's a really great reporting series. I'm not going to get into the whole implications of like landlords suck versus, yeah, but now you're paying $10,000 in mortgage because of how this turned out. But it's just a great series. And then a video by Aphrodisia called Taylor Swift Can't Stop Pretending to Be a Little Girl. And it talks about how Taylor Swift is afforded the right to be just a girl and to make just a girl records and to have just a girl problems. And Black artists don't have that same privilege, just Black women in general. And just in overall, the themes of the new Taylor Swift record and why Black women are seeing anti-Blackness in it. And I think that, there are a lot of really good videos on that, not only on YouTube, but also on TikTok. And I think that if this many Black women are pointing this out and saying this is a problem, then I think it's a problem. And I think it can't be ignored. But it's just a fantastic video. And that's just 3 of the reasons why I spent so much time on YouTube this year. Like, oh my God, you guys, so much time on YouTube this year.
Yeah, I need to start doing that because I know there are a lot of great video essays and then also just like investigative journalism and stuff. So I need to start doing that more.
And it kills me because this is where we have to go for investigative journalism now.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. And Erin A, your 6s.
Yeah, my 6s are, I'm going to talk about some of the mystery thriller series. I know Carla already said Paradise. I would like to reiterate what a good show that is. So many twists and turns, and Sterling K. Brown is amazing. It's really great. One of the other mystery shows is All Her Fault, and I know I'd mentioned that earlier, but it's like so many twists and turns. This little boy is kidnapped, and like you don't know who did it or why until like the very end. It's so good. It's based on a book. I haven't read the book. It's great. It's a limited series. There's like not a season 2. Well, I don't think they can do a season 2. People on the internet want a season 2, but it's just so good. If you want, no season 2, it would not work. But it's just, if you want to keep guessing every single episode all the way till like the very last minute of the show, it's really good. And it also has Michael Pena, who I love him. He's so great. And the other one, the mystery comedy that I watched, it's called The Residence. It's on Netflix. It's a mystery, but it is really funny, and it has just an incredible all-star cast. Basically, there's a murder in the residence of the White House, and this detective comes in, and she won't let anybody leave until she figures this out. And the detective is Uzo Aduba, who's fantastic. Like, there's just so many great actors in this show. I can't even go down the whole list, but it's funny, and it's a great mystery, and it's really great. It's so good. I watched the whole thing in one weekend. I think there's like 8 episodes or something. Again, I don't see how there could be a second season to this, but it's really good. Yeah, I'm looking. Yes, there's 8 episodes. Prepare yourself to just sit down and watch them all back to back because you won't be able to stop.
Yeah, and it's funny too.
Yeah.
And Meg?
All right. This isn't really a great category thing for me, but I read a lot of books, but only a couple, not many were from 2025. So I'm going to say, just to keep them together, I guess, Sunrise on the Reaping. I know it was already mentioned, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to read it again, but it was a phenomenal book. It was heartbreaking. It was so, so good. And on a completely opposite end of that was a silly book called Tusk Love.
I love this title.
So it's basically an in-universe book. Not that you have to have anything to do with watching The Mighty Nine or Critical Role or anything like that to read the book. It's a standalone book on its own. But within the universe, it's like the most popular book in the world. And it's just this very fluffy, cute book about a woman who falls in love. Like, she's a very rich woman and everything like that. We used to be rich. Now her family is running out of money, and she falls in love with a half orc man, hence the Tusk Love. And it's got a little spice. It's funny. It's cute. And I thought it was really adorable. I actually paid for a hardcover copy, which was a lot for me. Yeah. Yeah. I liked it so much, and I thought it was fun. And then just kind of to throw in another Critical Role thing. Critical Role is a very popular tabletop role-playing game. It's professional voice actors playing Dungeons and Dragons, pretty much. their 4th campaign started this year, and Brennan Lee Mulligan, who is an excellent dungeon master from Dimension 20 and some other things, is the game master for this campaign. And they added a lot of new cast members, and it's a really different format from what they've done before. And it's been really good. And I won't be able to give my full rating for it for another 4 years because that's how long these campaigns tend to take. They're like 4-hour episodes for each episode, and they usually tend to run for several years. So, but it's good and I like it. We'll see if it's shorter because of Brennan Lee Mulligan DMing. Yep.
Awesome. So, Sasha, your 6s?
Yes, my 6s. So we'll start with the book. Again, this is a second book in a series. It's called Enchantra. The first one was Phantasma. Basically, ghosts, demons, game show, trapped in a house, have to get your way out. Spicy, dark romance. Read your trigger warnings, as always, when I recommend you a book. Can't trust me. I am shady. My movie is K-pop Demon Hunters. It took over my school. It's been everywhere. I've watched it twice. The songs are everywhere, and I'm excited that those women are all over the place because they deserve to be. And then my live theater is The Happiest Man Alive, which is a true story about a man who survived Nazi Germany, 3 different concentration camps, escaped, and had to sneak back into Auschwitz to get medical care after he had escaped. Just like trauma after trauma after trauma after trauma. It was the most beautiful, heartbreaking, gut-wrenching, joyous ending play I've ever seen. One-man show. Yeah, Happiest Man Alive. So if you ever see anything about it, I would try and see that one. Definitely, the very end is just like amazing. He talks about how he's got this giant family and he is the happiest man alive because of the things that happened to him. So it's really a perspective kind of thing. It was gorgeous.
Huh, wow. Sounds intense too. Well, and nobody has said this yet, so I'm going to say I have 3 6s, so 666. So I had to say it. Nobody said it. So coming in first is Hamnet, which I mentioned earlier with Jessie Buckley's performance. This is, of course, a story about how possibly Hamlet came to be, and that it's because of the loss of a child named Hamnet. And it's just a really, like I said, really heartbreaking, heart-wrenching, sad movie, but so well done. I really love the ending. And since I mentioned Jessie Buckley, I'll just say Paul Mescal is really, really good as Shakespeare. I think this is probably my favorite portrayal of Shakespeare I've ever seen, which is saying a lot. So I recommend it, but with a heavy caveat that it's dealing with a child death. The second one is one that I just saw last week, and I was not expecting anything from this. I had a feeling from reading things that this was going to be what it was, but I went to see a mystery screening, the Alamo, of a movie that's coming out around Christmas time called Song Sung Blue. And it is a true story about a Neil Diamond tribute band. I am not a Neil Diamond person. And it stars Hugh Jackman and Kate Hudson. And it's also a love story. It's really, like they said, based on a true love story is how they hype it up there in the beginning. And even if you don't like Neil Diamond, I think you'll really enjoy it and enjoy the music. I thought the performances were really great. I will be honest, I am not like the biggest Hugh Jackman fan in the world, but I thought he was really good. But Kate Hudson is so good in this movie. It does take some turns where it kind of can feel like it's a little bit sudden, the change in like the feeling of it, the sense of it, like it, there's some tragic stuff that happens. And it can be kind of jarring the way that kind of changes, I think. But I was fine with it because I was just so into this movie. It was another like surprise one for me. And then last, and this is also a surprise one, was The Toxic Avenger. I am not like a trauma person. The studio. I haven't watched a lot of those movies. This is very much like that. It's very like The gore is way over the top. The nudity, not as much as in other ones, but there is a lot of nudity. But I love this movie, not just because of the fact that Cineverse decided, because a lot of the reason that Peter Dinklage's character becomes the Toxic Avenger is because of the fact that he got cancer from his job, and then because his insurance is so bad, he cannot get the treatment that he needs, and then he ends up becoming the Toxic Avenger. And so what Cineverse did is they spent all their marketing budget, they put it into paying off medical debts, and then up to a certain amount of ticket sales, they then also used that to pay off medical debts. And they changed lives that, over $10 million in medical debt they paid off. And if big studios would do that, lives would be changed everywhere. So I support this movie for that. I also thought it was enjoyable. I will say it was the most interesting viewing experience for me because I was the only woman in the theater and there were tons of people in there. And every guy that walked in looked extremely uncomfortable when they saw me sitting there. So it was a really interesting experience because, man, every guy that walked in there was like, whoa, okay, there's a woman in here. Why is there a woman in here by herself seeing this movie? So I don't know what to take from that, but the movie is also a commentary on capitalism. Kevin Bacon is so much fun in this. He's playing a really horrible, awful, evil person, and he's having a blast. So I recommend it if you are okay with over-the-top gore, really over-the-top gore. And if you are familiar with trauma films, it's very much like that. So, very over-the-top with a lot of stuff. And the language and everything. It's like unrated. So that should tell you something right there. But I had fun, and Peter Dinklage was a blast too. So, yeah. Okay, well, that wraps it up for part 1. So we're going to go ahead and close out. And Carla from OK Real Quick, tell everybody where that podcast can be found.
Thank you, Erin. You can find OK Real Quick wherever you found this podcast. You can also find by that I mean my social media by looking for @OK Real Quick Pod wherever you social your media. You can also find me, my art, and my musings on TikTok and something else that is out there that I can't remember. But guess what? I have a website. You can look for that. It's carlatemis.com. That's CarlaTemis.com. And I'm very active on the It's a Fandom Thing Pod Discord server. So come and check that out. It's a lot of fun.
Yes, awesome. It is. And you can find Carla on Blue Sky. I know none of us really use that much, but it's there.
That's the
one. It's there.
See, I knew there was another one. Thank you, Erin.
You're welcome. And Carla has covered a couple of the movies that are talked about. Well, the ones that have been mentioned. Superman, I think, is the only one.
Yes, I've definitely done that. Thank you, Erin. See, you're so much better at promoting my podcast than I am.
And Erin A.
I am in significantly less places than Carla. I'm mostly on Instagram. I'm at Geek and Sew. That's what I do. I geek and I sew things. I'm in the Discord for the podcast. It's really fun over there. And Blue Sky is on my list for 2026 to actually start using Blue Sky because I know a lot of people are moving over there and I should probably do it. I do have an account. It is the same as my Instagram. I don't think I've posted anything besides reposting podcast stuff, but I'm going to try this time.
Yeah, and I know because I tag you and stuff.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. That's the only time I remember I have it. I'm like, oh, Erin tagged me.
Yep. And Meg.
Oh gosh, I think I'm less stuff than Erin A is at this point. I took a big step back from all social media in a lot of ways, but you can find my handle at Wisconsinach, WISCONSENNACH. I'm trying to get to do Blue Sky again because part of me misses some of that interaction, and I'm hoping Blue Sky has fewer bots and trolls to clog up everything. But other than that, I'm just kind of been vibing in my own little space. So
Yeah, social media is, yeah. So,
Yeah.
Sasha?
I too have been avoiding the social medias and trying to purge myself from the interwebs, but I still have an Instagram and it's Vegan Geek Chick. There's just random stuff on there. I don't even know. I don't have a Blue Sky. I don't have anything. I'm trying to not.
Yeah. I understand. I kind of have everything because of podcast stuff, but yeah. So Fergie the dog, who hates Indy the dog. Although I want it to be a love story where they, fall in love. Anyway, sorry. But you can follow Fergie the dog, who likes horror movies, true crime, and Abbott Elementary. And I'm serious about that. She loves watching TV. You can follow her on TikTok at Schroeder and Fergs. That's SCHROEDERANDFERGS. It's long, but it's worth it. To find links to all our past episodes, links to our social media, including our Discord, which if you're trying to have a pleasant social media experience, please come over there. We're very welcoming. If you are not a good person, I will ban you, kick you out. You can talk about politics, movies, television, fanfic, fandom merch. You can get distractions. You can see pictures of pets. So you can find that on our website. It's a fandomthingpod.com. And while you're there, consider becoming a Patreon supporter today. For as little as $3 a month, you get ad-free content. So down with capitalism. You get episodes a day early. You get bonus content, and occasionally you win prizes, like was mentioned earlier. So click the link in the show notes, or once again, head on over to our website. It's a fandomthingpod.com and click the Support Us tab there. And Friday's episode, we will be back with part 2. So 5 all the way up to number 1. So until next time, remember, it's a fandom thing. Black Lives Matter, Stop Asian Hate, and Free Palestine.